Hello and welcome to a review of the highest caliber on the edge. So let me explain. I'm not bragging. Let's open this knife and tell you that this is the wee caliber. So there you have it. Right, so this is a design by Braginets Ivan Dmitrievich, the Ukrainian knife designer and maker. And reading up a little bit about him, he has a master's degree in mining engineering and started his interest in knives apparently very young age, and used to spend time drawing knives while in class at school, and made his first knife when he was around 13, 14 years old. So another knife nut, and thank goodness we have those around, otherwise we might not have beautiful knives like this. Right, so as usual, I will go through materials, dimensions, and then speak a little bit about the design and attributes of this very good looking knife. We have a blade steel of CPM S35VN, so you can see that this blade goes back a bit. This knife, I should say, goes back a bit when we was using that blade steel. The handle is titanium with carbon fiber inlays on both sides. Backspacer is titanium. Screws and pivot cap titanium. Clip titanium. And then one other is the pivot itself, of course, is a ceramic ball bearing. And then one other item I need to mention is the glass breaker at the back, and that's in a hard alloy. They don't state what alloy specifically it is, but it is a hard alloy. Right, let's get that back down and then speak a little bit about the dimensions of this knife. So we've got a blade length of 87.6 millimeters or 3.45 inches, blade thickness of 3 millimeters or 0.12 inches, handle thickness of 15 millimeters or 0.59 inches, handle length is 119.4 millimeters or 4.7 inches. Then overall length is 207 millimeters or 8.15 inches. And then weight of this guy doesn't feel like a very light knife. Let's have a look. See there, I've got the stated weights. By the way, it's about 6:30 in the morning, and I haven't seen my bed yet, so I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth in the next while. It may be interesting, or at the very least entertaining. But we'll keep going. Right, we're on grams. Let's have a look-see here. It is 101 grams. Let's just try that again. I got a different weight earlier on. Okay, 101. They say 102.8. And so close, slightly out. Let's go to ounces. They got 3.63 ounces and we got 3.6 ounces. Okay, so yeah, closest, damn it. Let's get that out the way. Right, so that is dimensions and weight and materials out of the way. And let's speak a little bit about this design. So before we get into that, there are two versions available on this. So we've got this one in the blue stonewash, and then there's one with a gray stonewash as well, where the blue is on this blade. We've got a traditional drop point blade. It is flat grind, and then we've got a little bit of a swedge running along the back of the knife. Nice big size sharpening choil, neatly done. And then that flipper tab. Also, if you look close at that flipper tab, really nicely finished off. So on this side of it, nice little beveled edge. And then it looks like it's bead blasted almost on the inside. A matte finish there, but very, very nicely done and neatly done. Then we've got this hole in the blade, the thumb hole. Looking at that shape, it might be a bullet shape. That could tie in with the caliber name, I suppose. Or if you turn it that way, it's kind of look like a beer bottle, hey? Just saying. So anyway, nice jimping on the back there. So you can get good purchase for your thumb if you're bearing down on the knife, if you're doing some hard work. And then a little bit of chamfering or beveled edge along the back of the blade, squared off top. Very good looking. Right, so let's have a look at that flipper tab. Quite a narrow flipper tab, really sort of sticks out there. A little bit of jimping on that side, but you can really get hold of it and get a good flick out with that knife. Also gives you that protection for your front finger then. And while we're there, let's have a look at the size of this knife. So my medium-sized hands, I've mentioned that I wear a large glove, comfortably gets on there, and you can see plenty space at the back. So if you've got bigger hands, you are really easily going to fit on this knife. It is quite a long, thin knife. The rest of the handle has this very wide bevel all the way around the handle, so that makes it also comfortable in hand, no hot spots or anything like that. Big back spacer along the back, so effectively a closed back design, but the jimping also really nicely done on that. It's these sort of almost perfectly square, they might be perfectly square blocks running all the way around it. That does give a nice attractive pattern. Nicely done lanyard hole as well, quite angular the way it's cut in there, but also very nicely integrated into the whole design, and an oval shape, the hole itself. The hardware all talks, also anodized in blue, and then that carbon fiber inlay is sort of capped on either side by a bigger and pattern screw that is got like a circular machining on it. So when you turn that, it really does catch the light very nicely, and you get that nice pop of that blue color. And you can see the smaller torque screw there, also anodized blue. Very, very, very attractively done. The edges of that handle, you can see not rounded around there. So you've got these little faceted areas that, you know, kind of take you around that corner. And that's done on both sides. So that really suits this sort of slightly angular shape to the handle. You can see this kind of bend in the handle. That does, by the way, fit very nicely in hand, that shape. And then, of course, with that wide beveled edge. Right, what else we got to speak about? Oh, another little nice detail is the lock. So the way that material's been removed there to create that relief for the flex in the lock. Also sort of very squared off, but again, in keeping with the rest of the design of the knife. We've got the stainless steel insert there, so you get the stainless steel lockup, and I'm assuming there is an over travel stop, although you probably don't need it because you've got this lock that is behind the carbon fiber insert over there. So all good there. Let's have a look at the frame. So we can see quite a bit of material. I might need the torch here. Quite a bit of material removed from the inside of the frame that's been milled out there. So you can see there, nice shapes the way it's done. So interesting, nicely done inside. But a lot of material removed there, obviously, to make the knife a little bit lighter. So we've got it on the show side, but we've also got it on the lock side. And even on the lock itself, there's been material removed. And then deeper into the handle there, you can see at the back also some more material removed there. So yeah, quite a lot of titanium milled off there to make the knife lighter. Pocket clip, let's speak about that. So very thin, sort of tapering, sharp pocket clip, and quite short. So I guess short and sharp. And that comes right off the back of the handle, and you can see there's your glass breaker that is quite big, sort of narrow and stands out quite far. So I suppose a non-lethal weapon that as well, you know, a demotivator. So can use it for that. But it is, you can see that the edge there, it is a bolt. So that's what's keeping that pocket clip on. So it looks like you can unscrew that and take that pocket clip out, which therefore means I'm sure that can flip to the other side so that it's left and right pocket carry. Now, I haven't tried that out, but I can't see why it wouldn't be that you could flip that around. I'm not sure what prevents that pocket clip from shifting, whether there's another little pin or something that keeps it from rotating on that screw, but it seems quite secure. The pocket clip itself, springy, quite a bit of space in the back there. So you can imagine that in your pocket, you'll see that pocket clip, but a very small pocket clip that you'll actually see. And then because it's such a deep pocket carry, all you're going to see is that little glass breaker sticking out. And that's, I suppose, going to look like one of the, you know, little clicky on the back of a pen, if you, if you know what I mean. Right. Action on the knife, really good on those ceramic ball bearings. So you get a hold of that tab, and it really does fly out. And then using that hole, you can, oh, and oh boy, I always screw this up when I try it. Well, let's see if I can get a good hold. And oh, that's not good. Let's try it again. Oh, that was a terrible one, but at least it went out, and I'm gonna be happy with that. So you can thumb flick him. It did. You can, I'm sure, do it much better than that. But he's also very, very. Whoa. There we go. Funny that off camera it works beautifully, but you can. Let's do that calmly. You can Spidey flick him. Right, that's what I was trying to do. So it is a fidget toy. So you can use the flipper tab, and you can thumb flick him out, and you can spider flick him out. And I'm sure you can do it much better than I just did it now. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to try and prove it, because it actually did work, and we'll leave good enough alone. So guys, I think that's pretty much all on the knife. I think I've gone through everything on it, but a nice design. It's not a knife that I've actually noticed before, and it's been out for a long time. But a really nice knife now that I've got it in hand, and I think very attractive in this blue color. I'm not sure why I haven't noticed it before, but yeah, really good looking knife. Right, what else is there to say while I'm getting some of the fingerprints off the blade? Yes, of course, I do have to mention I'm really grateful, as always, to Blades and Triggers for providing this knife. I really appreciate their support of the channel. And again, giving me access to interesting designs like this. If you're interested in the price at Blades and Triggers, this particular knife, 5,995 Rand. As I've mentioned before, go talk to them. Go have a chat, see if they'll do a deal with you. They are keen on making you a long-term customer. And then dollar price, if you're interested in that, at Blade HQ for $249. Right, I suppose all that's left to do is a little bit of size comparison, and I'm going to use my usual knives simply because I think it's knives that people know. So the first one is the Spyderco Manix 2. You can see slightly shorter knife, but definitely wider in that dimension, and I think a little bit heavier. Yeah, definitely heavier, the Manix 2. The other one is the what is this? The Benchmade Mini Barrage. Considerably smaller knife, maybe wider in that dimension, but probably a little bit lighter. Right, there's that one. Then the Medford Slim Midi. Similar color as well. I think the Slim Midi may be a little bit of a more gray blue. But slightly shorter knife, maybe around the same weight, but definitely slimmer, the Slim Midi. Right, that, and then I brought a few other knives out that haven't had camera time for a while, so may as well show you a few other things as well. The Shodan that I did a review on, have a look at that. Bigger knife in all dimensions, I think, but just give you a little bit of a perspective on that one. And then a bit of a blast from the past, the Wee Cirrus, one of the older Wee knives. You can still see when they were using the proprietary hardware, but similar length, also a slimish design, not as slim, but yeah, you might know that knife. So there we go, that's the Wee Cirrus. And then the other one is the knife that I used in a review recently and couldn't remember the name for it, the Wee Array, another slim, longish knife, a little bit longer in fact. Right, there it is. So guys, yeah, this a knife I really do like. By the way, you know, just looking at that stonewash, it is really nicely done. It's kind of quite an aggressive, if I can call it that, stonewash on there. So you get these shiny bits and matte bits on it, but very attractively done, that stonewash, and it looks really good in that blue. So all in all, a very nice knife. that I can't believe I haven't noticed before, as I mentioned just now. There we go, it's a nice little spidey flick, just to show you that I can do it. Guys, I think that's just about that. That's all I have for you. So once again, I really do appreciate you joining me. And I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed and hit that bell icon. I'd love you to join me more often. And other than that, straighten that up. Other than that, you go well and God bless.